Hello everyone, this is Ramin Visigi and I want to show you how to do something really fun and cool in PowerPoint. How to use Zoom feature. And yet, it is not Zoom video conferencing. I know that's the most famous example with this name Zoom today. But how to use Zoom feature in PowerPoint. With Zoom, you can do cool things. Let me show you. Typically, with a PowerPoint presentation, you go through the presentation in a linear way, where you start at the beginning, you advance to the next slide, and you keep doing that until you reach the final slide in the presentation. With Zoom, you can make your presentation more dynamic and your audience can jump to the sections or slides that they care most about. The easiest way to think of Zoom is it's a link, creating links to the sections and also slides within your presentation. There are three different types of zooms. You can have summary zoom, section zoom, and slide zoom. I will walk through all these types to show you how they work. All right, well, why don't we jump on the PC and let's get started. Okay, let me tell you how the structure of my presentation is, so at least you understand where we're going from here. I have my PowerPoint open. So on the left-hand side, on the left pane, you will see sections set up. I divided into multiple sections. It's my default sections. The area that I would like to have my Zoom slides to be at there is under summary section right here, which is not a section, it's just a summary slide. Then I divided the AVA industries into introduction and locations. They have about 5 locations, and then computer consulting, and then they have aerospace and the training division. Okay, now we are going to bring slide zooms in here and see what happens. First, you go to your insert. On insert tab, then you will see a link, and under the link you will have a zoom. Now, as we mentioned before, we have summary zoom, section zoom, and slide zoom. Let's start with the summary zoom first. Click on a summary zoom. I divide all those things into sections to make my life a little bit easier. So I'm going to select my first slide in every section. In this case, for introduction will be slide. For location, London will be the first one. And they automatically will come up because it is set up based on a section. So PowerPoint is smart enough to just pick them up. I will click on Insert. And now I have my Zoom slide going. But I wanted to have it on the summary, so what I will do, I will right mouse click here and I cut this one from here, open up my slide that I'm interested in, and I right mouse click and paste it. Now my slide's actually sitting right here. Let's bring it down a little bit. All right, and that works out perfectly fine. So the summary section that says Zoom created, I'm going to delete, remove the section and slides in this one. And go back to here and let's take a look and see what Summary Zoom did for us. If I run the slideshow, I can click. Looks good. And by the way, as you know, locations have multiple locations in this case. So he's going to go run through each one of those locations because they're sitting as a section for me. And comes back. The same thing for computers, their consulting division, and same thing for aerospace equipment, and they have training So the summary actually works perfectly fine, and a zoom summary works really good. Now, another thing you can do is when you click on each one of them, a zoom tab showing up. If you click on a zoom, now you have a lot of things you can do here. You can edit your summary. In this case, you can change things around if you want. You can reset your layout. You can change your image. That means you can, if by default, Zoom will create a snapshot of your slide as a picture and displays that one for you. But you can always click on each one of them and go ahead and change the image. Either you have your image in your from your PC, or you're using stock images from PowerPoint, online pictures, or you can bring in icons if you wish. If I bring icons, what I have to do is I just have to select appropriate icon for what I wanted to present. In this case, I'm just going to select just one and select insert, and here it is. I can use this as my icon instead of the picture of my slide, and it works exactly the same way. And we can test that one. Go right in, and I click in here. It opens up our introduction. Click back, goes back out. All right, so that works out perfectly good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this. No, let's go ahead and try something different. We go to our insert again, zoom, section zoom. In this case, the only thing that you will see is the sections. Maybe you're only interested in bring one or two sections in, or you want to bring all of them. It's entirely up to you. Let's say we are going to try 3 sections in here. Let's say we decided we're going to use these 3 sections. We insert them. Now you have more capability where to put your Zoom slides on your screen. Let's say first you click outside and then click back on the image. Then you separate them. Click the image, separate them. Click the image, separate them. Now let's see what that looks like. If I click on slideshow, okay, that is look good. That works out fine too. And of course, this is part of the section, so it has 2 other slides associated with it, so it's going to bring them with it. Excellent, so that works out perfectly fine. Again, let's go back on the screen and on a Zoom tab and take a look and see what else do we have. I want to also point out, whenever you click on Zoom slides that you have an options here. Return to Zoom, which is to this screen, or you're just going to move on to a next one and to a next one, which is from here, it goes from introduction into the next one. I usually like to have a control, therefore I just bring in right back to the Zoom. And the Zoom transition is the one transition that's when you open it up, it opens up, slowly make them bigger, slowly make them smaller. So that's a transition. I like that one, so I always keep that one going. Another thing you can do is you can change the style of a zoom of your picture. You can have frame around it, you can make it a circle, or you can decide to make any kind of changes that you want. And if you want to go forward with this, and if not, you can also you can go ahead and select effects and select 3D, and you can select what you want. In this case, whatever thing that you think is appropriate and is good for you to use, be my guest. You can use those things as you wish. So let's say we set this one up like this, and also you can set up the borders. You can select different type of borders, and and the weights and dashes or whatever background changes. I'll leave that one up to you to experiment and find out what you can do with that. The alt text is just what you can see on the screen. It displays a text pane, and then you can give some description as you putting your mouse cursor on each one of the slides. Of course, you can bring it forwards and back, selection panes you can just do, you can align them, you can rotate them, you can change the heights to exactly identical for all of them, is available to you to use. Let's delete this and go back and go to Insert and bring up Zoom, Slide Zoom. Now Slide Zoom is going to bring all of your slides at once. So now you have a choice of selecting any one of them that you wish. Again, I'm just going to use my section slides because it's easier for me to work that way for this project. So I'm just going to select the very first one of each one, and I will insert them. Same thing, the same as what it was before. Click outside, click in here. Now I can select each one. Okay, and now we can actually go through this and see how this thing works. Same thing, as you click on that one, you go back to your zoom, you make sure that your return to zoom is on. You click on this one, return zoom is on. Same thing, otherwise it will go after one after another and until it reaches the end of your presentation. All right, okay, now as you can see, it's very much the same as what it was before. Click, bring it back, this one, bring it back, of course, and once you click outside, we'll finish the slideshow. Okay, so we can see how this thing works, and they are a little bit minute differences from one another, but at least gives you a better idea how you can work with Zoom in PowerPoint. I hope you like this session. Give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you on the next session.